bring it a bit more local, I see Barracuda are in the news again today.
Yeah, well, just Barracuda Restaurant, for those who don't know, is the restaurant above Sea Life on the seafront in Bray. It's owned by Paul and Liz Finnegan, and they're 2 years ago they applied for a 7-day licence, and this was in and around the time that the Wetherspoons, the UK super pub chain, were coming into Ireland, opening up in Blackrock, opening up in Dunleary. So the rumours going around was that they were only doing this to sell out to Wetherspoons, and that Wetherspoons were coming into the seafront, and there was, a lot of people didn't want this, etc., etc., etc. Then a rumour went out this week that Barracuda was closing. All the staff were being laid off, and that was it. It was obvious that Wetherspoons would come out. We rang the owners, Paul Finnegan, we spoke to him, and this is not the case at all. What they are saying is, yes, Barracuda is closing, and it's closing at the end of August, but it's closing for a refit of the kitchen upstairs, and they hope to be back open by the end of November. Any of their full-time staff are being transferred into their other business because they have a Finby's coffee shop and a kitchen as part of the same building. And not only are they not letting people go, they're investing $200,000 into the building to refit this kitchen, and they hope to create 10 jobs off the back of it. So
it will be Barracuda Mark II kind of thing is what's going to be open.
Yeah, exactly. Barracuda Mark II, and I can totally see they were very annoyed with some of the information that was going around that
it was incorrect.
That it was incorrect. And
mind you, one thing I say about Wetherspoons is people, it's quite a contentious issue, a Wetherspoons coming into an area, but they have lowered the price of drink, they have lowered the price of food for people who want to go out. And the way, if you're a young family with a couple of kids and you have to pay for a babysitter and a night out, going somewhere where you can buy a pint cheap and going somewhere where you can buy food cheap is a very attractive prospect for people.
It is. I think a lot of the people that were possibly objecting to it coming into Bray weren't necessarily objecting to Wetherspoons coming to Bray. It was the location. That, this is a prime piece of real estate.
If anyone who doesn't know it, it is stunning. I've often sat in Barracuda, looked at those windows and thought, you could be in California looking at the surf, isn't it? Because the views and all are stunning from that building.
Yeah. But Barracuda, the owners of Barracuda's issue is that you can't walk into Barracuda and have a glass of wine and just sit on the balcony and look at the views. You have to go in and have a full meal. So that's the reason why they say they wanted to change the licence around it,
Which is a fair comment, because there are times when you would exactly that on a sunny day, like to sit down, have a glass of white wine or whatever in the afternoon and then leave without your dinner. So
yeah, well, you go to anywhere in the Mediterranean, you can just walk in and sit down and have a glass of wine if you want.
And it makes it much more flexible for the Barracuda owners, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think people's concerns that a super pub were coming in was that you were going to have people swilling pints and that it was a pub that people were going to be spilling out onto the seafront at late at night.
Heaven
and that kind of
forbid
thing.
Anyone would swill pints on Bray seafront.
No,
dare I say.
absolutely. Or even worse, spill them.